Harbaugh now heads to the Los Angeles Chargers.
He wins everywhere. He wins, period.
Justin Herbert, he's a crown jewel.
Well, you guys better enjoy this.
Quick snap, Herbert to throw. Has a man, touchdown!
The fans loved it.
You have to love what you're seeing on tape if you're a Chargers fan, especially for the future with Justin
Herbert on the move and throws and touchdown.
I was just trying to show off.
We're going to be known as world champions. And we're going to do it or die trying. Don't let the powder blues fool you.
Who's got it better than that?
Well, howdy doody there, folks. Welcome back to the Charger Chat. I'm your co-host, Will Dog, sitting with my buddy, Kev Huggin Duggan.
I'm so happy.
Let's not forget Kyle, the coach, Duggan.
Away games are tough, boys. You guys are fighting through it right now.
Well, some of us are. Yeah. But we're going to rally back here, folks. Kevin and I are still away from our normal abodes, but we are here to do a podcast.
We're in Malibu, California.
We're in the Malibu. Yeah, catching some waves, you know. But folks, we've got lots to talk about here on this episode. And I mean, we've got a great Ask Boltfam lined up for you. So let's waste no time. Start at the top and let you guys know also we're recording this a little bit early. Just a little. So there's a good chance that something might happen between now and the time that this posts that you're like, why didn't they talk about this? Well, there you go. For example, we did see that today. I think Jim Harbaugh is probably going on Pat McAfee like right now.
Yep, he's on.
So there's probably going to be.
I listened to a good chunk.
Oh, it's already done?
Great, you can fill us in.
Great, Kyle. How was Jim Harbaugh on Pat McAfee?
Yeah, it was good. He basically talks the whole time. They would ask one question and he would just go on like a 10-minute rant, and they would just sit there and smile and like, oh, I want to.
That's what you do with Jim Harbaugh, dude. You just sit there and smile. You just soak it all in, embrace it.
They asked him what made him a good coach, and he just started listing off every player on the roster and what they did well. And that was his response to, why are you such a good coach? Yeah.
Him and Justin are exactly the same.
Yeah. The reason why I'm great is because of everybody around me. Do you see this room?
My team.
Look at these guys.
Yeah. One cool quote too, before we jump into that, all the stuff we want to talk about, was they said that like the identity of a team takes on the identity of the coach. And Pat McAfee was like, but it seems like it's the opposite for you. Like you came in and find out who everyone was, what they were good at, and you took all of that and used it to form what the identity of the team is. And he's like, yep, it's the exact opposite here. They don't take on my identity. We do. Like, I just surround myself with them. So that was a pretty cool, different way of talking about it and thinking about it.
How lucky are we, dude, to get this guy like this? Who's got it better than us?
Nobody.
We were watching the game last night, and my wife was like, it's just like, I love him because it just feels like it's safe. Like, he's just like a dad. He's like the dad of the Chargers. It's just, there's like comfort and security with Jim Harbaugh in charge.
Yeah, that's what it is. He gives off the dad vibes, which when you think about a coach dad, you got dad jokes, but you also have that wisdom and that comfort of like somebody that knows what they're doing and they're going to do their best to help you out and get you where you need to be. And right now, that's what Jim Harbaugh is doing with this team. Looking at some of the little tidbits that have popped up since yesterday's game, his previous spot, Michigan, not doing too good right now. They are currently 5-5 with the most regular season losses since 2014. The season before with Jim Harbaugh took over. So
Jim never did that bad.
Jim was never, I mean, he was always winning seasons.
That's coaching right there. That is 100% the coach. That's him.
Yeah. So Michigan's 5-5, but the Chargers are 6-3. And as a reminder, we only had 5 wins all of last season. So we are already we're in the green. So we're moving in the right direction. And just so happy to have Jim Harbaugh right now. Also, some history was made yesterday. Chargers quarterback Justin Herbert now has the most completions in NFL history through the first 5 seasons.
It's crazy.
First 5 seasons.
It's crazy to watch Justin Herbert because he has obviously an incredibly powerful arm. He throws the ball so hard. He's so big and tough, and he can run the ball. But I think of everything, it's his accuracy that is the most impressive thing.
100%.
I mean, yesterday in that game with that Will Dissly drop touchdown pass, he was just straight backpedaling, like shoulder square to the line of scrimmage, backpedaling. He's right-handed. He's throwing to his left across right over his shoulder, placed it perfectly in his hands where only he could catch it. He obviously dropped it, but like that type of accuracy it's just crazy what he can do with the football.
For sure.
And which leads to the most completions in NFL history through 5 seasons because he doesn't miss.
Well, I mean, you're talking about his accuracy. Justin Herbert has thrown a total of 1 interception this whole season.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's wild that he's been so accurate, because I want to say it was week 2, so it would have been in Carolina. I'm trying to remember the game from you and I being there. I don't think it was like a direct this guy just jumped up in front and caught it.
Throw.
Yeah. It was just like something it got tipped up or something like that, and he got caught. I could be wrong. Don't hate me if I'm wrong.
Something different this season too. Do you guys remember like the constant batted balls or tip balls at the line of scrimmage? The guy's 6'5", but for whatever reason this year that's not been the case at all. Like maybe a handful, but there's no just batted balls at the line of scrimmage on a big third down. Usually it had been.
That's a great reminder, because last season it was crazy how many batted balls he had at the line of scrimmage, and it was just like, wait, we didn't see this in his rookie year or even his sophomore year. But then for some reason last year, it was just crazy how many balls were getting batted up. And you're like, he's tied as the tallest QB in the NFL right now. How are these balls getting batted? Like, it's insane, but not a problem this season. Has not been an issue, because
the technique, maybe the offensive line technique, something's changed.
Something has changed.
Something's happened to get the,
what's changed? We got Jim Harbaugh.
We do.
And we have
Nick Hardwick.
Nick Hardwick. Yeah. Because Herbert has not thrown an interception since week 2, and NFL and CBS put up week 3. Or did Justin Herbert throw an interception? Week 3? No. Week 4? No. Week 5? No. Okay, he was on a bye. Week 6? No. 7? No. 8? No. 9? No. 10? No. Longest streak of games without an interception in Chargers history.
Yeah.
That long of a streak that he has not thrown an interception. God doesn't turn the ball over.
Yeah.
It was a little scary in the last game where it almost looked like a fumble that was ran back in for a touchdown, but thank God
that wouldn't have counted.
They overturned it.
That would have been a fumble.
Yeah.
So it's streak alive.
Yeah. The streak of the interceptions is absolutely alive. And PFF reminded us of that as well, because Justin Herbert since week 7 has had a 95 PFF grade first. 13 big time throws first. I don't know what that means. Big time throw.
It's a weird. I don't know how they justify.
That's a little generic. I don't know how to measure that. But he has had 0 turnover worthy plays since week 7. So
it's pretty crazy. Dude.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it. And also, as we mentioned yesterday, Joey Bosa has now the 2nd most sacks in Chargers franchise history with 70.
I can't believe how many sacks we got yesterday. That was
7.
Freaking awesome.
7. And I mean, and it was not just this wasn't like a Khalil Mack game where he gets 6 on the Raiders. It was spread out. You had Joey Bosa, Deion Henley, Bud Dupree, Tuli Tuipulotu.
Yeah, everyone got in on it.
That's the crazy thing I saw. I think Tuli had not had a sack in the first 5-6 games.
Yeah.
But over these past 2 weeks, he's got 5 sacks.
He's coming on.
Yeah, he already has more this year than he had all of last year. And he, like you said,
he did that in 2 games.
At the beginning.
You have awoken the Tonga terror, as they say. We also saw some familiar faces at the Chargers yesterday. Eric Weddle, the beard.
Didn't expect to see him coming back to do anything Charger related.
No.
Ever.
Yeah. And Donnie Edwards was there as well, cranking the siren the Chargers posted. But yeah, seeing that big smile, that big beard, and knowing that that's the coach of our previous high school, the RB Broncos. It's awesome to see that he's there. Yeah, they're doing great from what I hear. Obviously, haven't been to a game in a hot minute, but
his son is a freshman. He starts on defense at safety, obviously, but he also gets in there and plays quarterback. It's
crazy.
Genes are just a crazy thing. Genetics are just it's just such a crazy thing that obviously his kid's going to be incredible at football.
Yeah.
There's no way. I like Phillip Rivers.
Yeah. What genes are you guys passing on to your kids?
Hopefully none. They're all my wife's.
Hopefully none.
Same. I'm going to go same on that
one. Well, let's look at some quotes here regarding yesterday's game. Khalil Mack on Justin Herbert said, "Man, Justin was just doing some stuff I've never seen. I didn't know he had that in his arsenal. Special player. You see him laying his body on the line today. It speaks volumes when you have a leader like that." Even Khalil Mack, the guy who's been in the league as long as he has, is going like, I ain't never seen anybody do that.
Dude, he broke so many ankles yesterday. It was so fun to watch.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and he's clearly healthy now.
Yeah.
Right? He's clearly able to be that mobile quarterback because everyone kind of forgot that Justin Herbert can run the ball.
I didn't. I've been banging the table. Right. I've been like, please, make him run.
So thank God he's back. He's 100% and he's breaking ankles.
Yeah. And then Harbaugh on Justin's touchdown run said there were a lot of unblocked guys, and he just went beast mode to get the ball in the end zone. I'm changing his name to Beast. Beast Herbert. Chargers head coach Jim Harbaugh said, half man, half beast.
Half man, half bear, half pig. Man, bear, pig.
It was it wasn't
Beast
like,
Herbert.
It wasn't blocked terribly, but he got cut off right away. And I think that's like, it's crazy to have that kind of vision as a quarterback, to be able to run the ball and to feel and see where things are opening up. That cutback was awesome. And then he got low pad level and just kind of forced his way into the end zone.
Just got right in there.
Benefit of having a big old boy, big boy Justin.
Big boy. He's your big boy Beast Herbert. And then Deion Henley, talking about Justin Herbert, said, I'm just happy he's not against me. We see him in training camp and OTAs, and we be like, man, we would have tackled him right here or right there. But you see him against the other guys, and it's like, I don't know now. It's good to have him on our side. He's such a dominant player, and I hope the league recognizes that.
Yeah. He's putting him.
They are.
I'm
seeing a lot more chatter now about Herbert because of just the not turning the ball over. Like, it's amazing that he's been that accurate. Like, yeah, he threw for less than 200 yards yesterday, but one, he didn't have to. We still won 27-17.
Yeah.
And he's not turning the ball over. It's not like, oh man, I'm throwing it and nobody's catching it or I'm getting intercepted. It's just, I just am being efficient with everything. And that, I think, is such an underappreciated quality in a quarterback, is to just be efficient. Don't turn the ball over. And it's amazing that he's been able to do that as well as he has. And then Rashawn Slater on the Chargers, physical style of play. Slater said it demoralizes them. They were exhausted out there. We got in the middle in the red zone, and you look over there, they're huffing and puffing, and we've got them right where we want them. And we bled the clock, and our defense rested. That's all Chargers right there. Whoa.
That's such a hard statement. I don't know. That was fun. You don't usually hear players like not talking shit, but being critical of the other team. And he was in a cool way. He was like, oh, we dominated them. Mm-hmm. They were tired as hell, and we did exactly what we wanted to them at the end of the game.
But the way that he finishes that statement saying, like, that's all Chargers right there.
Yeah.
There's your identity.
That's not been true in the past. That's
sure. And and to be able to be as a player to say, that's who we are. That's what we do. Yeah. And to go out there and execute it as well as they did, as efficiently as they did. Woo, love that. Well, folks, I hope you love our sponsor this week, Underdog Fantasy. Underdog is the best place to cash in on all your takes this football season. Which players are going off? Which ones are ice cold? Make your entries in just a few taps and turn your sports opinions into real money. Like Red Zone Rush, a game you won't find anywhere else. Just pick whether or not a player will score a TD by swiping right for yes, left for no. It's simple as that. Plus, your entry will be automatically boosted, and you'll get a 51% profit boost when you play. You could win up to 1,000 times your money just by choosing higher or lower on player stats like passing yards, interceptions, touchdowns, and much more. Underdog is the best place to play champions, so sign up and deposit now using promo code CCHAT to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Now, this last Sunday, how'd we do?
Swings and misses, but I did like
Kevin went a little rogue.
The return would have been phenomenal. Yeah, you're right.
It's not so easy, is it?
You're right when you're right, and you're right now. Okay, whatever.
Well, folks, it's a lot easier for you, and it's so easy just to do it. You can download the app today and use code CCHAT to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Must be 18 or over 19 in Alabama, Nebraska, and over 19 in Colorado for some games, over 21 in Massachusetts and Arizona, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Or visit www.ncpgambling.org. Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP. That's 1-800-639-8783. Or text NEXT-STEP to 53342. New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY. Or text HOPE-NY to 467-369. And when you're done making some sweet ass picks, you can go on over to our Patreon, patreon.com/ChargerChat, where you can check out all the fun, silly ass videos we got over there. We post behind the scenes stuff too. I just posted a video of Kevin and Kyle bickering about their fantasy trades, and you can find it over there at patreon.com/ChargerChat. But if you don't want to go over there, it's totally fine. You can go on over to our regular website, chargerchat.com. Check out all the cool stuff we got over there. T-shirts, hoodies, and stickers. You can chat it up with other Charger Chatteteers in the members section and ask questions and Ask Boltfam. So go check out chargerchat.com. All right, folks, it's time to go into the next segment, Ask Boltfam.
Let's go.
Time to put your money where your mouth is.
Hi, guys. Go jam a thumb up his butthole. That's what you do. I wet myself in excitement.
Oh, so hungry.
Your thoughts are like totally appreciated. Catch you later, dude. Okay, love you, boy.
That's right, folks. Time for Ask Boltfam. And before we get into it, there's 2 birthday wishes we need to give out right now. Number 1, Ladidi.
Ladidi McConkey.
It is Ladidi McConkey's birthday. Happy birthday, Ladidi McConkey.
Happy birthday, Ladidi.
Birthday wish number 2, Cat. Gotta wish happy birthday to Cat. Happy birthday, Cat. It is your birthday as the day that we record this. Oh, one more.
Third one.
Utah, give me
US
3.
Marine Corps.
Oh,
that's right.
The Veterans Day.
Happy Veterans Day.
Happy Veterans Day as well.
There.
My God.
Thank you for your service and everything you've done for us.
Yeah. So thankful to all of you. Ladidi, Cat, veterans.
Yes.
We got them all. All right. So let's start off this Ask Bolt fam with Chad Davis, who asked the question. Hayden Hurst, what the f is going on? This guy can't catch. I've been doing yard work in my house. Some new pavers, a new concrete driveway. I'm thinking I'm going to need to hire Hayden Hurst Stone Hands, guaranteed to drop the price. I'm only kidding. But he has been a letdown. My question, it doesn't matter. We're on to Cincinnati. Side note, I went to the game with my daughter, and she told me on the way home she didn't see one Titan fan. It was pretty cool for her to go to a game like that and notice a lot of our fans. That was an unprompted thought from her. So we're getting better fans. I'll see you all at Sunday Night Football. Bolt the f*** up.
You requested, I love the midstream.
The midstream change.
Belichick voice. Yeah. Pretty good Belichick.
Thank you.
It sounded like you didn't give a shit.
Yeah, that's
exactly
the Belichick. It's easy to fall into. But yes, Hayden Hurst, man, obviously dealt with an injury. So I don't want to, pigeonhole him too. Yeah. Not to his hand. Yeah, his hands weren't the ones that were injured.
They're healthy.
But it's been crazy. Like going into the season, like Hayden Hurst was like, oh, well, there's your receiving tight end. There's the guy who's going to be the one for Herbert. And it just has not panned out that way. And in fact, the guy who was supposed to be your blocking tight end is now the receiving tight end.
Yeah.
But even he's dropping passes as well, which is really frustrating.
Really not helping Justin at all.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't target them if I were him.
That would have been such a cool trade deadline move to get somebody, even if it wasn't Evan Ingram type, like not the David Njoku that you're gonna have to give up a lot for, but like on a team that sucks like the Jacksonville Jaguars, that is just looking for anything. I texted mid-game to both of you guys, like top end tight end is going to be the main target this offseason because it would just elevate everything so much. It's been a really big bummer. I'm hoping Hayden can turn it around and figure it out for the back stretch of this season. But so far, I mean, Will Dissly is the dude who just stays out there the whole game, catching balls, blocking, doing everything.
Mm-hmm. So we'll see if Hurst can turn it around and catch some more balls for us. But Chad Davis, thank you for asking the question. Let's move on now to
the Charger fans showing up. That's sick.
That was also I think I saw Dan Popper go like, this is probably the most home field advantage type level of fans that I've seen at the stadium in a long time. Way to go. Way to show up, guys.
It was going to happen. You build it, they will come.
Well, and
building it.
And the next one's going to be a primetime game.
Oh, wait, which one?
That's the Cincinnati Bengals that they flexed into prime time. So, Chad Davis, thank you, buddy, for asking the question. Let's move it on now to BoltFan24, who asked the question. We saw Herbert with a planned run that he scored on. Do we see offensive game plan using more planned runs with Herbert going forward? I'd like to. I would love to see that.
He's healthy now, and I think that was the plan all along. They just didn't do it because he wasn't healthy.
Mm-hmm.
He's healthy now. He's ready for more of it. And it really puts the defense in a bind because if they have to address Justin possibly running on them. So I know Kyle could talk about it a little bit more when you prepare for a quarterback that is a running quarterback versus, just a pocket passer like what we had in Phil. You have to do those differently. But if you have one that can do both, that's going to be freaking rare.
Yeah.
Major.
I mean, it changes everything. Defensively, what you can call, who you can drop in coverage. Most of the time, you have to designate like a linebacker to just spy the quarterback if you're going to have runs like that, which messes everything up. And also, just numbers wise, you can't. You can block everyone when the quarterback is on a run play. He's a dead player. Like he's not a part of the play. He hands the ball off and he stands there. So now defense already has the number advantage. One guy is going to be unblocked to make the tackle. When you have the quarterback running the ball, now you have Scott Matlock and you have Gus Bus as your leading blocks.
That's
like
awesome.
The numbers are there. Like you can block every single person as long as you stay on your block. So yeah, I mean, I think it'll be like you guys said. Now that he's healthy, it would be great to see it. I don't want him running 10 times a game. You can sprinkle it in there 2, 3, 4 times a game just to get those big third downs that you need to get to keep drives going. Yeah, absolutely. I think it's going to be a huge part of the offense.
It seems to be just an element of the really effective quarterbacks, that you look at that are up there at the top. I mean, Lamar Jackson is always talked about as an MVP candidate. Guy runs probably, it feels like he runs more than he passes, but that's not the kind of quarterback we're looking at. A Herbert, we're looking for somebody that, again, as efficient as he's been, run when it is appropriate, run when it's efficient, and run when you can get those looks and find those holes and get those big chunk yardages like we saw on this last Sunday game. So BoltFan24, thank you, buddy, for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Andrew Ramsey, who asked the question. What's up, amigos? A few things. Number one, these fantasy shirts are fire and deserve a shout out. I'm going to rub it in all the non-fantasy people that listen in. Number two, can we cut DJ Chark? I mean, Jaws 1, original him? I'm talking tank in the mouth explosion. And number three, can we conclude that Justin Herbert stays the healthiest when he takes shots outside the pocket versus in the pocket? And he should continue to run and put himself in harm's way weekly?
Well, I'm glad you got your fantasy football shirt.
Very glad. I saw them. They look amazing.
Pretty rad.
I'm so happy with how they turned out. Cutting DJ Chark.
No.
Activated one game. We didn't see him catch one pass, and you already want to cut him.
Giving up.
He's over it.
Well, Andrew Ramsey doesn't like DJ
shot.
Chark to begin with. He lives in Carolina, so he watched him on the Panthers. He was not high on the addition to begin with, so I think he had a very short leash for DJ Chark.
Very,
but yeah,
short.
Yeah, very, very minimal. One link in that leash. But I'm not. No, don't cut DJ Chark. I mean, that would be the biggest waste of money ever. He didn't even play a single play. Like, I want to see what he has, and maybe if somebody goes down and he's finally getting healthy, it could be that perfect in and out type of situation. So he's not going to get cut, but I do want him to start contributing. Like it needs to start happening. We are paying him money and he hasn't done much of anything yet. Well, he hasn't done anything yet. Right.
Well, this was the first healthy game of the regular season that we actually got to hopefully get a shot to see him catch something, but
he's got to warm up, man. Give him. He doesn't want to pull a hammy.
He's just got
to warm up.
The engine's just starting.
Yeah,
give him a shot.
You got to turn that bitch over. Come on.
I mean, yeah. And hey, man, when we're winning 27-17,
I ain't complaining.
It's okay.
Yeah,
it's fine. Trust the process. And then can we conclude that Justin Herbert stays the healthiest when he takes shots outside the pocket? I think that's been the idea for a while now, that we've seen how accurate he can be when he is on the run and throwing.
The only thing is when he hurt his hand and he got it stuck in the face mask when he was, but he was. Yes, I see what you're saying. Yes, correct. He's laying the boom as opposed to the boom being laid upon him.
There it is.
The boom theory.
The boom layeth upon him.
The boom man cometh.
So there you go, Mr. Ramsey. Thank you, buddy, for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Mickey Coates. Who asked the question. We're just over halfway through the season. How are our beginning of season predictions looking? Do we have new ones to close out the season? Mine is QJ will end the season with 1,000 yards. He needs a little over 700 across 8 games. That seems like a big ask.
I can't remember what I had because I made like undefeated
almost 100 a game.
Yeah.
I think I said always. 13 wins, didn't I? I think I said 13. I think we're on par for that.
Yeah.
Feeling good about my ridiculously overconfident prediction on the season total.
Yeah, but I mean, as far as like how Mickey's predicting here with like QJ hitting 1,000 yards, I think would be wild.
Yeah, because he missed a couple games there too. Like,
yeah,
dude, everyone's excited about QJ now.
I love it.
Freaking awesome. I knew it was going to happen. This is the thing. It's the DJ Chark principle. Give him a couple games to warm up. Look what happened. He got a full season as a rookie.
Right.
He came in. Everyone hated him. Everyone wanted to cut him.
Yeah.
He was the worst wide receiver. And look at him now.
Yeah. Look at him now.
Look at him go.
Look at him glow up.
Yeah.
But would you make any predictions for anybody else on this team? Like, part of me wants to say, I mean, Thule's already had 5 sacks over 2 games, and he was so quiet in the first part of the season. I would say Thule 20 sacks.
Jesus.
20 sacks for Thule?
No way.
That's
no?
insane.
No way.
It's my bold prediction. We'll see if it comes true.
I think one of our awesome little running backs that we have, JK, is going to get 1,200 plus yards. 1,200 rushing yards. Yeah.
I like that.
And he'll have 12 touchdowns.
Ooh.
So he's at 6 right now. He's gonna have one of these games. He's just gonna stack a couple. I can feel it.
Ooh.
So 1,212.
1,212.
I think a bold prediction at the beginning of the season is JK playing a whole season without getting hurt.
True.
So yeah, now we're on the 1,212 touchdown track. So
but that's what he was capable of. That's why we brought him in, and he's staying healthy, and he's doing it.
Yeah.
Pay him.
And why he should be.
Get him a contract yesterday. I want him on this team for the foreseeable future.
Absolutely. And why he should truly be the one mostly considered for comeback player of the year.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, for sure. I mean, like, I see like so many other like names getting tossed out there for comeback player of the year, and I get it because like they're quarterbacks or whatever, but like this guy dealing with the injuries that he dealt with in Baltimore and now coming back and being effective and like
being what
productive.
It was before.
Yeah. He's absolutely should be a comeback player of the year. So there you go. Mickey, thank you, buddy, for asking the question. Let's move on now to H-Dog, who asked the question. Is there any update on you guys working with the Chargers for media purposes? Coach Kyle represented the CC gang in a press conference, and I recall you saying the Chargers were looking at more ways to involve podcasters this season. Just curious, and I'm always rooting for you guys. Okay, love you, bye. Yeah, there was during the offseason, Kyle got to
go to a press,
go to the training facility.
Yes,
and
you talked to JK, our man, we were just talking
Gus.
about.
Yeah. I got to ask.
Oh, you talked to Gus. Sorry, it was Gus.
Yeah.
Gus Bus.
Yeah, Gus Bus.
But yeah, I mean, as far as like continuing to do that, it hasn't really popped up lately that I'm aware of. No, Kevin's my main go-to guy.
it's definitely easier when we're not mid-season, like during the season.
Sure.
They're so busy over there. But
yeah.
I anticipate we'll do more during the off season for sure. More player interviews.
That would definitely be the hope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was just cool that they recognized the podcast platform and
big time
the fan base of what we're doing, just grassroots, starting our own stuff. But yeah, if they came calling, I would love to be able to be in on some of that stuff. So yeah, I guess we'll just wait and see.
We'll wait and see. But yeah, the involvement that they've had with us, like in some of the like social media posts, like showing us like talking about getting Jim Harbaugh or using like voiceover when they're talking about the new facility, about like the Wolfgang Puck, oven, using like little things like that. That means the world to us. That tells us that they're listening and that they value us enough to like involve us into those things. So we appreciate that more than anything else in the world, because I mean, this is just a labor of love.
Yeah. Which isn't, as my wife likes to remind me, this isn't really bringing home the bacon.
This ain't bringing home any bacon
at all. So yeah, that kind of stuff.
This is bringing home the diced ham. Yeah. This is not bringing home anything crazy.
The bologna.
And it has a first name. It's Charger Chat.
But that's what we go for. It's like the fans, you guys telling us how, listening to us just brightens your day a little bit.
Yeah.
And being able to even slightly be affiliated with our favorite team in the entire world.
Exactly. That's 100% it. So H-Dog, thank you, buddy, for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Gavin Gibson, who asked the question.
Just wanted to say that since Bosco and Ignatius were born, that the Chargers are 3-0. Maybe all I had to do was channel my inner Papa Phil to help the team, LOL. What was your favorite part of the game? Is there anything that you guys would like the team to improve on quite quickly before next week? As always, guys, bolt up, K love you, bye. They're our little lucky charms.
They are.
Bosco and Ignatius.
Hope they're doing good.
Yeah, hope they're doing great there, Gavin. And hey, Gavin, don't set yourself up for this because it means you're going to have to pop out some babies every year if we want to have some streaks going.
He's
so
close. I think he's got a good amount. So he's not that far away from the ultimate field goal. You know what I mean?
But what was your favorite part of the game against the Titans?
I think in hindsight, my favorite part was when Justin juked the shit out of K9.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't have any animosity towards K9, but it proved what I thought about K9 a little bit, and then it proved why I love Justin so much and that he can actually freaking run. It wasn't the biggest play that happened, but that was pretty freaking rad.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree, because that was all. I mean, K9 and Justin were not just drafted in the same year, drafted in the same round.
Yeah.
We moved up to get K9, and it didn't work out for him with the Chargers. So there was just something kind of cathartic about seeing like Justin like kind of juke Kenneth Murray, and for us to walk away with the win as well.
Not in a petty way. It was just kind of a nice.
Yeah.
We're making the right decisions kind of way.
Yeah. We're making the right moves. How about you, Kyle?
Yeah, I have two. So Darius Davis's kick return, I just think special teams plays like that just boosts everything. Like momentum is such a real thing in the NFL and in football. And they went down and start the second half, drove down on us, kicked the field goal, and then boom, all momentum gone. Take it right back on them. So I thought that was huge. And then anytime we can go into victory formation and take a knee, that's my favorite play of the game.
Pretty sick.
Big time. Yeah. Yeah. Seeing all of the sacks, man, just like the celebrations, especially like with Thule and Bud, like having those guys be as effective as they have been. And Deion Henley, man. Deion Henley getting his first sack.
He's a Pro Bowler. That guy
he better be.
100%.
He freaking better be. And I hope that everybody else recognizes that.
And seeing him in the Pro Bowl stuff will be so fun. Like doing all the dodgeball and all the interviews.
Yeah. Oh, he'll have a blast.
Yeah.
And I have a 1B.
Bring it.
And I've watched it about 5 times now. Is the post-game
the locker room
speech.
Yeah.
And the moment where Joey Bosa pulls coach and gives him a game ball.
Yes.
And how excited, because Joey's not that kind of guy. He's always been like in the back, quiet. Like Joey Bosa has bought into this coach. And I don't know, I always felt like on edge with Joey, even since when he first came in and he held out for more money and all that stuff. He was a team player, but he didn't always feel like, you know, it's just
I get it.
Feels different now.
Oh yeah.
And everyone smiling and doing the high five thing, and like, God, it was just freaking awesome to see that.
Yeah, big time. 100% agree. So there you go, Gavin Gibson. Oh, and anything that you guys like to see the team improve on before next week?
Tight end catching play.
Tight end catching balls. That's good. Yeah.
Tight end hands.
I agree. I agree. There you go, Gavin Gibson. Thank you, buddy, for asking the question. Let's move on now to House of Hain, who asked the question. Mama always said, if you're going to play football, win the damn game. So that's what the Chargers did. And 10 was running. That was a complete game, not like Lieutenant Dan's legs. Ha ha, I made it funny. How do you feel about the Bengals? Oh, love you, bye.
I think the Bengals might be the best offense we're going to play up to this point.
Yeah.
Explosivity-wise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So if we can keep them under 20, dude,
that's going to be big.
Dude.
It's funny how like there's been so many games that we've had this season where like, okay, this team, they're going to be a challenge. This is a challenge for the team. This team, it's going to be a challenge for the team. Every week, it's like you cannot just take every team with like a grain of salt. Every team has something about them that you have to respect in order to get a win out of. And yeah, man, watching the Bengals, especially after the Bengals played the Ravens this last week, it's like, whoo.
Their defense isn't good.
Yeah.
So if our defense can be good and our offense can actually show up a little bit and keep doing what they're doing they've been the last couple games.
Yeah.
Dude, I can't wait to watch this game.
Yeah. I think this is going to be a crazy matchup. And I know there's probably more questions about the Bengals because they're coming up.
Oh yeah.
But as far as the offense, it's Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow. Those guys are scary and they can make any big play happen at any time. So do we know yet? Zont is eligible to return, right? It's been 4 weeks.
Doesn't sound like he's coming back from what I'm gathering.
I haven't heard of Peep, and I don't remember what week he went on IR.
I'm more interested in Fulton at this point, making sure he gets back. I think that's something to realistically look at because it doesn't sound like Zont's coming back anytime soon.
We'll find out. We'll see. There you go. House of Hain, thank you, buddy, for asking the question. Let's move on now to Scotty B63.
Scotty!
Who asked the question?
Good day, fellas. I think this has been our most complete performance so far this year. How confident are you feeling about next week?
Feel confident.
Yeah, I feel pretty confident. I'm not just like, I don't think any Charger fan is going like, oh, easy peasy game.
I'm not doing that, but I'm shedding the concern that's always in the back of my head, like something's going to go wrong. That's gone from me. Like I feel confident.
Or that we're not going to have a game plan against this team. We're not going to play.
We're not going to blow something. Like we're not going to have a just systematic breakdown in some way.
Mm-hmm.
I think that part of my brain, when I think about my favorite team, is kind of dissolving and floating away. Like we're going to play consistent. And people are saying we're like the most consistent team in the NFL right now.
Mm-hmm.
Consistency is awesome. If they can keep doing that, like the track record the last 3 games only shows that. So I can't imagine they're going to have a huge step back. Then it's just all matchups.
Mm-hmm.
So how good is Joe Burrow? I guess we'll find out.
Well said.
I think that's what it is. I know the identity of the team, and I know what team is going to show up. Whether it's good enough to win on any given night, that's what's that's what's exciting. But I'm not as fearful. I remember like last year going to games like, what are we going to look like? Are we like, who are we this week? What's like, I was scared because I didn't know what was going to happen. We could either lose by 40 or win one at the last second, but it's going to be a close game. This is the best team that I think this is definitely the best offense we've played so far. So it's going to be a fun challenge. I mean, you look at the Bengals schedule and they haven't beaten a good team yet. People could say that about us as well. Like we've beaten all the teams we're supposed to beat. They've lost to they lost to the Patriots early on, but their wins, they're 4-6, and their 4 wins are the Panthers, the Giants, the Browns, and the Raiders. So very similar overlap to what we've beaten. So this is going to be a big time game. This is who's for reals.
Yeah, it's an identity thing. We'll see what we are, like what we're made of on defense, especially. Yeah.
Well, it makes sense why they flexed it into prime time. We'll all get to watch that.
It was the smartest
Joe
thing
Burrow
the NFL
and
has
Justin
done.
Herbert.
Yeah, dude. Come on now.
Here we go.
Shut up.
Scotty B63. Thank you for asking the questions. Let's move on now to Athir Kadir.
Kadir.
Who asked the question?
Georgia Chet, love you, my baby. Great win. On to the Bengals, baby. One question directly to you, Coach Kyle. How are we going to play coverage versus Jamar Chase and the Bengals' potent offense, baby? Love to hear from Kevin and my love, my heart, my life, Bulldog, baby. Bold prediction time. Herbert outduels Burrow, 350 yards, 4 touchdowns. Chargers win. Classic shootout, 34-28, baby.
All right.
I like the prediction, but I'm going to go with 34-20.
Keep them to 20.
Keeping that shit going.
Yeah, that would be wild if we can keep that 20 alive. What was the stat that I think you pointed out earlier? Like, it's only the 4th team in the last 40 years to keep a team 20 points or less in the first 9 games.
You know, in the stat, when they say since the AFL NFL merger, it's a good stat.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where we're at right now.
Yeah. There's only been 4 teams since you and I were born that have kept teams to 20 points or less in the first 9 games.
That is old as shit.
What a time to be alive. But to answer your question, Athir, it's directed at you there, Coach. How are we going to play coverage against Jamar Chase and the Bengals' potent offense?
Yeah, I think that obviously Jamar Chase is the type of guy you got to give help to.
I'm listening.
You got to
teach us.
Not every team has that guy. Like we don't have that one guy that you have to automatically help towards. Mm-hmm. You may look and find tendencies and say, hey, they like to throw it to him in this formation, in this situation, so we'll help to that way. Jamar Chase is a guy every single play you're going to have help to that side. So I think you're going to see a lot of lighter boxes. You'll have 2 high guys. You'll have a lot of nickel and dime where you'd only have 1 linebacker in there and you bring in extra DBs because this is a passing offense. I'm not going to say they can't run the ball, but that's not what they want to do. That's not their identity. Joe Burrow throws the ball 50 times a game, so they're going to throw the ball a ton. So it's going to be a matter of how do you disguise it to help with Jamar, but also it's pass rush. Like you got to get pressure on Joe. You got to speed things up. It's anytime you play a prolific quarterback, that's what it always is. It's how can you speed him up and how do you take away his number 1 option? So I have the utmost trust that Jesse Minder will dial something crazy up to be able to help slow this thing down.
I concur.
Hell yeah.
All right, there you go, Athir Kadir. Thank you, buddy, for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Daryl21, who asked the question.
Hello, my peeps. As we've now beaten teams we're supposed to beat, now the gauntlet of our schedule begins, and you know what? We're ready for this. Hoo-ha. Now, with that being said, how do we see this game going? I'm looking at our offense going toe-to-toe with Burrow, Chase, and Higgins. This Bengals defense can be had, but we have to stay patient, and Giro needs to dial it up for Herbo, because that secondary isn't all that and a bag of chips. Hoo-ha. Defensively, how do we see Minter designing our game plan? Do we see more man coverage or zone with confusing looks sprinkled in? We all know Herbo loves the prime time, and this game could be insane. Make sure we all have our anxiety meds ready at the disposal, defibrillators plugged in and ready to pace in the house. Hoo-ha. Ending in smiles and high fives. Looking forward to Tuesday, guys. FTR, FTB, and FTC. Oh, you lucky schmucks. Okay, love you, bye.
Seeing their luck in person, dude.
I know that's
what the shit.
Being there live, just like both you and I sitting here going like, oh man,
we're just like,
this is going to be the sweetest loss we've ever witnessed against the Chiefs.
Opposite sides of the box, looking at each other, smiling.
Can't wait to see all these frowny fans walking out of the stadium.
I got video of fans walking away, and then I deleted immediately afterwards because it didn't serve any purpose.
It was not valid anymore.
It's crazy, but the thing is, I think the Chiefs fans realize how lucky they are.
Hey.
That's what I gathered from talking to some of them in that box. They're aware that they get flags and they cash their chips in whenever they can.
Yeah.
They get it. So
that's their identity.
They're sort of acknowledging that
they get lucky.
Some lucky shit.
But as far as your questions there, Daryl, as far as how we see this game going, I mean, you got to ask for Herbert to continue doing what he does. You got to be efficient. Don't turn the ball over. You got to ask for the defense to continue doing what they're doing, which is to basically shut shit down.
Shut it down.
And as long as they can continue to do that, it's a recipe for a win, especially after watching like the Bengals play the Ravens. Like you can kind of make some comparisons with the Ravens with John Harbaugh being their coach. And you can see like some of the similarities that they do between like their defenses. But for some reason, man, the Baltimore defense is just they're not connected. I don't know if they're not dialed in. I don't know if there's miscommunication. They definitely don't have Jesse Minter. But that's the comparison that I can see. And like, really, it came so close on that game against the Ravens, and it just ended with them going for two and not getting it. Now, granted, you could say like there was the flag situation, like there should have been flags thrown on face masks and whatnot. But I mean, this is still, like you said, Kyle, like Cincinnati's only beaten teams that we've beaten.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, like this is going to be a fun game to watch, and hopefully they can get it all figured out.
I would argue too, I think that the running game is going to be a lot more important than what Herbo does through the air in this game. Because the best way to stop a prolific offense is to keep them off the field.
Yes.
So I think our running game is what needs to really take over in this game. Herbert's going to do Herbert things. And when you need him to make a big throw, he's going to make a big throw. But I think if we can be even more effective in the running game, that's what's going to slow that offense down. They're off the field. They're getting cold. They're not in rhythm. Like the Ravens and Bengals were just like boom, 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 big plays. We're on the field. You're on the field. We're on the field. You're on the field. If we can have some of those like 7-8 minute drives where we get touchdowns instead of field goals, that's what's going to put this game away. Is keep them off the field, control the clock, hardball football.
And they definitely get into it. Like watching the little I have of them, they definitely get into a rhythm. When he starts throwing, it's like bunches. So keep them off rhythm. Like, don't let him get on the field and have a lot like consistent drives where he's like warmed up and they're cooking. Like Kyle said, run the ball, keep them off the field. I want them on bikes on the sideline, staying warm. Like that's what I want from our run game and our offense this upcoming game.
I love it. All right, Daryl21, there you go, buddy. Thank you for asking the question. And we go out of Ask Boltfam with Tony Francis. Go ask the question.
All right, cadets. Today I stand before you filled with passion and pride, and I won't sugarcoat it. I am furious, not at you guys, but at anyone who dares to underestimate the heart and tenacity of our Chargers. They have fought like warriors on that field, and let me tell you, they deserve our unwavering respect and support. These young men train relentlessly, pushing beyond their limits, just as you do with this podcast. My first question is directed at you, Coach. What are the keys to victory against the Bengals on Sunday? See you there, cadet. P.S. We better get a video of both of us screaming into the camera at Thunder Alley. My next question is directed at you, Kev. How many rushing yards do you predict for Herbert against the Bengals? Also, what's going to be your first initial thought when receiving said video of Kyle and I screaming, let's fucking go? My last question is directed at you, Wolldog. 7 fucking sacks, soldier. Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 7 fucking sacks. How many sacks do you predict we get against the Bengals? Also, can we hold Burrow to under 200 yards passing? Thank you again, boys, for all you do for the Chargers community. I fucking love this podcast. I love all you three, and I love the motherfucking football Chargers. The Raiders, burn the kingdom, kick the donkeys, suck my butt, Nathan Shepard, and let's fucking go Chargers.
Tony with the juice, man.
The juice.
Tony Juice Francis. You just got a nickname.
Reason.
You're Tony the Juice Francis because you bring it.
There it is. Our first nickname given out on the Charger
Tony the Juice.
podcast.
That's official.
All right. Many a question. First one directed at you, Coach. Keys to victory. I know we've kind of said,
Coach.
I know we've gone over a lot of keys to success. What do you think those are?
Yeah.
The top ones, just to reiterate.
It's going to be effective running game and getting pressure on Joe Burrow. I mean, Joe Burrow is elite. Like, he's a top 5 quarterback in the league, along with Justin. And you saw what happened when you give Justin time, like this Sunday, he's going to dial it up and he's going to find the open guy. So if you let Joe Burrow sit back there, it will be a long day. So I think it's down, even no matter how good your DBs are, if he has enough time, he's going to find someone. So I think it's dialing up pressure and it's an effective running game, keeping them off the field.
All right. And Kev, how many rushing yards do you predict for Herbert?
Well, before that, when you send me the video of you and Kyle screaming at the camera, you know what I'm going to do? Share it on all our social media sites. That's what I'm going to do.
I'm going to spread the scrimmage.
I will be at the game. Me, my wife, and my son, Frankie, we're going to be at the game. So I'm freaking cannot wait.
That's going to be so much fun, dude.
Go see him. What are we, section 307?
307.
307, yep.
Yeah, go see Coach. But yeah, so
rushing yards for Herbert?
Let's say 35. I don't think it'll be a lot. Maybe 30.
Pretty similar to this last game.
Yeah, like we'll see if he does need to scramble, but their defense is kind of suspect. So it may just be the 1-2 Gus Bus JK punch. You know what I mean?
Herbert might not have to be that guy.
You know, like just get in there. Yeah.
Give him the haymaker.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm thinking about the Mike Tyson fight coming up. Come on, old man. Get him the 1-2.
Come on, old man. And then 7 freaking sacks, man. Against the Bengals. I'm not familiar with how well their offensive line is. I do know that Burrow has gotten sacked quite a bit.
Yeah. Well, you got to keep that in mind too. He's throwing the ball 50 times. So he's being putting himself in a position to get sacked.
He's doing it to himself.
Yeah. The play calls are dictating.
The calls coming from inside the house.
Of a sack. Exactly. Yes.
I mean, if we can get 7 sacks against Will Levis and the Titans, I don't see why we can't get 7 more. I mean, again, because it's not just like one guy. Like, it's not just Khalil Mack getting 6 sacks against the Raiders. It's like this 7 game spread. Like, it wasn't just one superhero on that defense. So, I mean, I don't see why we can't get 7 more.
Oh, man. Sure.
Especially on a primetime game. At home.
Joe has 23 sacks on the year. Most in the game was the Giants got 4 on him. Baltimore 3 in both games they played. So there's sacks to be had.
Oh, yeah. There's just got to, like Jim Harbaugh says, you got to pull it down.
Yeah.
Pull it down. These guys can pull it down. So, let's do a back-to-back 7 sack game for the Chargers. I'm here. I'm with it. Tony Francis, thank you, buddy, for asking the question. Thank you, everybody, for asking questions and Ask Boltfam. We greatly appreciate it. Again, sorry we had to record this a little early, so if we didn't get to your question, I apologize, but hey, we're going to have a primetime game on Sunday.
That's your ass.
And then we're going to have another primetime game on Monday that we will all be at. It's going to be, we got a lot of fun times coming up here on the Charger Chat podcast. But I think that's going to do it for this episode. Any final thoughts, gentlemen?
I love this team. Love you guys. Everyone listening. Thank you.
Amen.
There you go. Love for everybody. Thank you all, folks, for listening. That's going to do it for us here at Charger Chat. Don't forget to bolt up because we're ready for any squad, any place.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Oh, yeah. Brother.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
This fall, He's not just the quarterback. He is the beast. The beast. He's the future of football. But what if that future isn't human? The beast. He's got the arm of a champion and the rage of a monster. The beast. When the LA Chargers star quarterback Justin Herbert starts playing like an animal, he's more than just a player. He's a predator. The beast. In the NFL's most intense season, one man will stop at nothing to win, even if it means turning into a beast. The beast. Beast Herbert. Coming soon. This season, fear the roar.